Hi, welcome to the second design skill session on Memphis Design. In this one, we're looking at doing the sofa, which is designed by Peter Shire. It's the Big Sur sofa. We're going to use the same tools as the part one session, but it's just a little bit more detailed. We'll be using the guides and measurements a bit more in this session. I'm going to start off by just drawing a rectangle, the approximate dimensions of the final sofa. So with this bit, I'm keying in the measurements I need, making a block, and then on the front of this block, I'm going to add a guide. So using the measurements tool, I'm going to add lots of guides. Most of the guide measurements I'm putting in, I'm using keying dimensions. So when I drag the guide from the line, I'm typing in 200, 250, 100, depending on what the measurement is. So you see the bottom right corner, the numbers are changing. That's me typing in whatever measurement I need. So the guide works just by clicking on the edge of an object or the edge of an existing guide and dragging it out. You can manually place it, or you can place it by putting in a value. Once I've done that, I'm going to add the lines and shapes using the rectangle tool and the line tool. Doing the guides makes it quicker to snap to the position you want to do. It just makes it much more quicker to draw. And once I've done this, once I've got my shape, I'm going to use the push-pull tool to remove any unwanted part of the object. So you're basically sculpting like you have a big block of wood or block of ice, you're just removing the bits you don't want. That's the main shape, that's quite straightforward. Don't forget to save your work. After this, I've just spun it around to make some room for the back of the sofa. So I've just used the push-pull tool again. I've pushed away what I don't need, place the rectangle in there, and then use the push-pull tool to lift it up. On that one, I've typed in 600. I've got a few lines in there that I don't want, so I'm just going to delete them. When I'm deleting it, all I'm doing is I'm selecting the object's turning blue, and then I'm pressing delete on the keyboard. So quite quickly you get a quite simple shape. Remember when you're doing tutorials like this, the idea of this tutorial is for you to practice drawing. Whether the chair looks exactly like this is partially irrelevant. You know, it's a design tool, you're using this to try and create a design of your own eventually. So just draw something out that looks like a sofa, a Memphis sofa. It might not be exactly like this. And just practice using the tools. As I do this, I've got visual references just to make sure that I'm getting it right. I use that a lot with the colours as well because I keep forgetting the colours. As you'll see later, I keep flicking between the picture and my design. Now it's adding the rectangle at the back, which is the yellow piece. With both these tutorials, all I'm trying to sort of demonstrate is the fact that you can create a reasonable product just by using a really small set of tools. So with this, all you're doing is the same repetition. You're drawing a rectangle, you're using the push-pull tool to make it 3D, you're editing it, you're moving on. So with these very small range of tools, you're managing to produce an item which has a reasonable level of complexity for a beginner. At this point, I got a bit impatient. I wanted to see some colour, so I started adding the colours to this, which I always do. I always want to start looking at what it looks like at the end. And one thing with SketchUp, which is a pro of SketchUp and sometimes hindrance, is that each surface can be quite quickly made a different colour. So in some parts that's really easy and really helpful, which you can have different colours and materials on each side. But sometimes when you're doing a whole block, you need to remember to rotate your object to apply the colour on each side. Just saving it again. on this piece, I'm doing the curve, which is quite tricky. So I'm using the guide to find a centre point for the circle, obviously just estimating. Drawing the circle in place, and then I'm going to have to delete parts of the circle I don't want. So once again, I'm selecting the object. So I'll go shaded or turning blue, and then I'm pressing the delete button on the keyboard, and then use the push pull tool to get the finished shape. Deleting any excess lines. And there you've got the basic sort of geometry of your product. Add a few more colours. I think I orange first, and I change it to red later on. When you're working as well, if you're using a set of standard tools, you can download a shortcut, JPEG, which I've downloaded. If I can attach it to this video or to the YouTube channel, I will. Just makes it quicker to maneuver around the screen rather than clicking on the tools all the time. At this point, I changed the C back to white because I can't see the guides. I've got so many guides that I'm having to delete some. If you notice, when I'm dragging the cursor, in one way the cursor is a solid rectangle, and in the other way it's a dotted line. When it's a solid line, you have to get the whole object in the rectangle. When it's dotted, you just have to touch it. That's a good way of selecting items. I'm now going to do the circles on the right side of the tubes. So I'm just going to use guides again and the keying commands. So you're just repeating the same tools over again, guides, typing the tool, typing the measurements. And then I'm going to draw a circle on the left hand side of the sofa. So when you move the view around and moving it around, the circle will take on the plane from the background. So if I draw a circle there, it doesn't work correct. Whereas if I move it, the screen around a little bit, there we go, I can orientate the circle correctly. Once I've done that, I'm going to use the push pull tool again just to push it back. That's it, that's the basic geometry of the sofa. Just going to add the colours, get rid of some guidelines. You can turn the guidelines off, so you don't need to delete them. In the view command, there's a toggle which says to turn them off. There you go. So I'm adding shadows. I'm also going to add a background colour. When you click on fog on, you do get a foggy effect over your drawing. If you just move the sliders, you'll get a clearer picture. And then you can alter the background to whatever colour you want from there. I think I changed the black to a slight grey, so it shows a bit more form. Can't really see it on the video actually. And then to finish off with, I've saved it, and then I've selected all the objects and copied it into the Memphis room I did in part 1, like this. And that's an isometric view. And then I've changed that to a perspective view, and then you can zoom in and place yourself in the room. And that's the end of part 2. That's your Memphis Design room and sofa designed by Peter Shire, the Big Sur. Thank you.